Good morning, all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the TFMC team for giving me this opportunity to address you. And I would like to also congratulate them for hosting the 11th conference. So these facility management service, the importance I got to realize when I moved to Hyderabad last year and I started living in a gated society. So it had been you can say, a very topsy-turvy ride where the initial FMC was not doing very well and it took us 1 year to basically change that facility management service. Before that, before joining government service, I worked in 2 cities earlier, Bangalore and Gurgaon. So I'm very familiar with what FMC and the potential that a good facility management service can bring in. And today, with the advent of GCC and all the new players in the market, with the advent of AI, there's a tremendous opportunity in which we can actually improve. Now, I represent IT Electronics, Communications and Mining Department of Government of Telangana. So I'll share some of my perspective as to where and how AI can fit in, both from the government side as well as from the facility management service side. Sharing some other thoughts also. I think I see a lot of familiar colleagues here, so you would be aware and you would have seen some of the slides earlier. So sorry for the repetition, but for those who have not seen, there would be few new items for you. So the theme is basically when buildings think, that's the theme around which I have structured my presentation. So I came across a very interesting post on Hyderabad, that is our city, which basically says that the person has completed 2 years in Hyderabad. And do you know him? Somebody? I'm not sure. So he said that, look, Hyderabad doesn't have cool breeze of Gurgaon, cool breeze of Bangalore. So I used to work in Bangalore earlier. I was with Samsung. Scenic treks like in Pune and nightlife for Gurgaon. So I was in Gurgaon for 1.5 years in a startup. So what does actually Hyderabad have? So he gave a very detailed post of what Hyderabad has. So he said that Hyderabad has something many places are slowly losing. That is your human warmth. So if you come to Hyderabad, nobody will embarrass you for not speaking Telugu. No one shames you for not knowing the local slang. People don't demand identity before offering help. When you step into Hyderabad, you are not asked, where are you from? So that is the main USP of our city. And I think anybody who has come from outside Telangana would definitely subscribe to this fact that yes, that is the biggest USP that our city actually has, and it has been very welcoming. So interestingly, although Andhra Pradesh was the first state to be carved out on the language formula, language was never an issue in Andhra Pradesh. So that's a good thing about our state. I'll not cover the rest of it in the interest of time. Okay, just to talk about AI, I think some of you would have seen this slide earlier. So where are we basically? So 60 years ago, computers were basically asked to do things which humans could not do. So for example, if you were to ask what is 2025 power 2025, humans could not do. Still today, with all your calculators in your pocket or mobile phone, you will not be able to calculate what is 2025 power 2025. Now we are in a reverse situation where we are asking computers to do those things which humans can actually do very easily, like recognizing whether it's a photo of a dog or a cat. So in 2012, the brightest mind in Google, they spent, I think, more than a year to train an AI model to find whether the AI model is able to recognize photo of a cat or not. So it took them, you can see number of hours that they trained, 16,000 computers, all the brightest mind in Google, trying to decipher whether that's a Tom or that's a Jerry. So now they have been able to crack that, and today we see the virtues of those AI technologies everywhere, including our mobile phone itself. Okay, now coming to the main topic, which is the facility management services. I think there are 5-6 areas where I think we can actually work. One would be we deal with a lot of machines. These machines undergo a lot of repairs, and there are now proven use cases where you can use AI for predictive maintenance. So rather than your mistri or somebody else coming saying, ki, sir, ye machine kharab ho gaya hai, you know beforehand that what time of the life cycle of the machine is going to get defunct or machine will not work as per our expectation. Second is obviously the energy management with the whole new phenomena regarding making our campuses, making our country carbon neutral. I think there's a great scope where we can use AI for energy management as well. Third would be if you have a large campus, now we have low Earth orbiting satellites. which actually gives you internet like Starlink, and it also provides you very high quality resolution images, images to the tune of 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter resolution, which if you can obtain from these satellites, you can actually build a layer of the entire, you can say, campus that you have. And over a period of time, you can do a lot of intelligent features building on that whether greenery has gone up, whether my construction area has come down. So a lot of monitoring can be done using these low Earth orbiting satellites. Next would be, you can create a digital twin also. So it's a new phenomena called digital twin, where you create an exact replica of your campus and then you simulate it. So let's say in the monsoon season, if you think that maybe on a particular day you can get a 300 millimeter of rainfall, how will my campus actually look like? Okay, whether I have this danger of my DG sets or other things getting flooded, it happens. It has happened recently in Bangalore also, other cities also face this issue. So you can create a digital twin of your entire Raheja campus and then you can build a simulation on top of that. So that is one area where AI can be immensely helpful. Next is your air environment monitoring. You can predict a model where if you have 5,000 people sitting in a campus, what is my air quality in each and every corner of my, let's say, Raheja campus or some other campus that you have. Last would be smart security and surveillance. So my head of cybersecurity, Sriram Garu, is here. So we talk about something called zero trust architecture. That in a the volume taginchandi. Yes. So we talk about an architecture called zero trust architecture, that we should not trust anyone. So now you have sophisticated tools, attacking you. So it's our basically job to deploy more sophisticated tools from our side to address that issue of surveillance as well as security. Now you have good AI tools to basically do that. And if you feel the need that your campus requires a very hi-fi security, cyber security measures, you can reach out to us or my team. So we have a Center of Excellence in Cyber Security in Hyderabad. We'll be happy to do the work for you. Okay. Now I'll just divert from the topic and will like to cover one more topic. That is the obesity crisis that we have in our cities, and especially the IT people who work. They also suffer from this. So the issue is that over last 10-15 years, the number of people who are actually suffering from diabetes, people who are suffering from obesity has gone up exponentially. Now, because this conference also has people who are from GCC, who represent IT companies, who represent FMS, how do we basically tackle this problem and how do we address this issue? So recently CBSE, Central Board of Central Education, they have given this guideline that in every place, every school, you need to now put a sugar board saying that this item, if you are consuming, this is the amount of sugar it has. So let's say, why can't we do it for our own campus? Everywhere, every cafeteria that we have within our IT spaces, can we have this sugar board installed there also, informing you that let's say at 4 o'clock, if you are feeling the urge of having one more glass of maybe Sprite, Thumbs Up, Fanta, then you're actually consuming X amount of sugar. So instead of that, can you basically nudge that person to do something else? So this is one thing where I feel these are both ethical and moral responsibility to ensure that the workforce that we have, they are also healthy. So unless and until they are healthy, they will not be able to perform to the capacity. Okay. Now in order to do that, so there is a intersection of two branches of, you can say, education. One is psychology, second is technology. So it's known as behavioral science. So there are two interesting books on this topic. One is known as Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. So he's a Nobel Prize winner basically. He has been given Nobel Prize for doing a lot of research on behavioral science. So whenever in Amazon, if you buy a product and you see that people who bought this also bought XYZ, you should be thankful to this person who wrote that book. Then in UK, in United Kingdom, they did an experiment where it's called nudge experiment. Now the whole nudge experiment is centered around how can we change the default behavior of a person. No, because on a daily basis, let's say if you were owning a Nokia phone, the chances that you will have that Nokia call tune would be like 80% of the cases. iPhone also, it happens the same. So how do you basically change the default behavior of a person? That is the whole motto of nudge. So they basically tried to increase organ donation in UK using this philosophy. And they also increased the tax compliance using the whole philosophy which are mentioned in these two books. Now, what is the default behavior of a person? So just to give you one example, if I ask you to write word go, G capital, O capital, just do an experiment. Can you write that word go? Just write it wherever you can write it on your phone, you can write it using a pen or paper, just write a word go. G capital, O capital. Okay. Just a small experiment to tell you what default behavior actually looks like. Okay. So how many of you have written the word go? Anywhere, maybe in air, on mobile device, anywhere. Now if I ask you, how many of you wrote that O anti-clockwise? Clockwise is how clock moves, anti-clockwise is in opposite direction of clock. So the chances would be that 90% of you, 99% of you would have written O anti-clockwise, isn't it? So that is the default behavior. Now if I were to repeat this experiment in Japan, the answer would be reverse. Japanese write O clockwise. We Indians write O anti-clockwise. So that is the default behavior with which all your data science, all your AI technologies are actually built. They try to leverage the default behavior of a person and nudge them in a particular direction. Now if you click that QR code, so I just created an app where if you draw it clockwise, it will tell you it's a clockwise O. If you draw it anti-clockwise, it will tell you it's an anti-clockwise O. Now coming to a very different topic. Now all the developments in AI we have seen, we generally feel that India mein hum log kuch nahi kar rahe hain, all language processing, everything is happening. Somehow the same thing is not happening in India. Now to tell you one very good example from our Indian history itself. So the first grammar, or the first you can say sophisticated grammar was written in Sanskrit. And the gentleman who wrote it, his name was Panini. Now why this is important, and why this is important from the perspective of large language model is, on left hand side, can you read that? Just try reading it and making sense of what is written. So it's an English text from 10th century, around 800, 900 years ago. So I don't think you will be able to make any sense of what is written there. On right hand side, you see a slok from Bhagavad Gita. It's in Sanskrit. It was written 2500 years ago. So the beauty of our Sanskrit is that even if the text is pertaining to 3000 years ago, you will be able to make sense today, tomorrow, even after 1 million years. So even if you trace 1 million years from now onwards, that text will make sense. This text has lost its relevance in just 500 to 600 years. So actually it is written like this. Some of you who have attended convent school, you would have basically recited this prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, etc., etc. So that is the text. So that shows the beauty of how our ancient, you can say, grammarians, they wrote such a sophisticated language model. And the language model that we wrote 2000 years ago has been an inspiration for the development that you are seeing in NLP today. Just to give one example. So what Panini did, he wrote a grammar for Sanskrit. And the entire grammar, if you take a printout, it will have only 50 pages. That's it. 50, not more than that. And in terms of memory, it will have less than 1 megabyte of size. And in that entire 50 pages, the entire Sanskrit grammar is covered. So he used a technology called ZIP. You use ZIP files, must be using, if you have a large document, you will basically zip it and then you will mail to the other person. So he was the first person to use the technology of ZIP 3000 years ago. You will say how, okay? So the answer is here. So he used a sutra called Maheshwar Sutra. It has 14 sutra in that. Now the beauty of this sutra is that it encompasses all your concepts of programming. So if you write a program, like C program, C++, you encounter variables like int, boolean, etc., we generally use. In the same way, he used variables like ach for all vowels, al for all letters, and hal for all consonants. So it's like if you just write ach, it means that you are covering all vowels in your language. That's the beauty of it. Now, people generally say that, Sanskrit is a dead language, why should we basically use it? How can it be an inspiration for the current technology? So there's a very interesting experiment. And I need volunteers for that. So let's say I give you a cluster of two alphabet, N and D. And if I ask you, just give me a few words with the N and D. Any volunteer? Just 2 or 3 words with N and D, having anywhere in between. and India. Okay, there are a lot of them. So you have India, Mind, and Grand, Bond. Another thing, MP. Lot of them. Ramp, lamp, then champ, important. So many words are there. Now if I ask you, can you give me a word having MD or NP? MD together and NP or NP together. The chances are you will not find. Except for AMD, this is a company, or NP or NPS, non-performing asset or non-performing, National Pension Services. Now, why do you don't get any word in English language with having MD or NP as a cluster? You will never find. You go and buy a new Oxford dictionary or any dictionary and you just turn all the pages, or you ask even ChatGPT, can you give me an English word having MD or NP as a cluster? The answer will be no. So English grammar has no answer for this, that why it will not happen, but Panini had an answer for it. So in the interest of time, I will not cover why MD or NP will not exist in English language, but the reason for that, you can go home and search. It's a very fascinating concept as to why these two clusters exist, but these two clusters do not. And all this thing actually has led to, these are the basis for all your LLM that you are doing today. All the language protocols, ChatGPT, etc., these are based on these concepts of tokenization. They recognize a cluster of words. They then put a frequency to it. So if you ask ChatGPT that what is my probability of getting word MD, the answer would be 0 because it is based on some scientific fact. It's not a technical jargon. Now, what we are doing in Telangana, I'll just take another 2 minutes. We have a AI-powered Telangana strategy roadmap, and we help startups develop AI solution, and we as a department as well. We onboard those solutions. We have already onboarded 2-3 solutions. We work with India AI mission in a very, you can say, close manner, and we are one of the biggest contributor to Government of India's AI mission. And I think as recent as yesterday, we had a use case in mining department where we want to onboard a solution for monitoring our mining vehicles using AI technology. So people who are working with AI, if you feel that yes, you have a technology where you can collaborate with Government of Telangana, I think we'll be more than happy to collaborate with you. So these are the pillars on which we work. I will not get into details. And as of today, this is the snapshot of what we are doing. So we are touching all the sectors. We are working with Google. We are working with IIIT, IIT, BITS, NALSAR, agriculture, traffic, AICT, education, crime. And this is a updated slide. So we have added 2-3 more sectors, in this field. So hopefully, I think in next 1 year, and from your FMS side also, if you feel that you require a solution for which you may not have a ready-made product at your disposal, we have Task, we have our COE, we have T-Hub, we have Math, which stands for Machine Learning Artificial Intelligence Tech of Hyderabad. We all collaborate together and will build solutions for you. So I once again thank TFMS for hosting me, Satya Garu for your visionary leadership for last 11 years in relentlessly working for, it's like a thankless job where you work behind the scenes. It's like us only, we bureaucrats, we work behind the scenes. So that's the role that you play, and I hope that you achieve further success in future, and next year also I get an opportunity to talk on some other topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.